Tomorrow is Sunday. That means game day. Of course, for some people that means sports. But for me and my friends, it means Dungeons and Dragons. It's campaign day. And nothing makes campaign day better than starting it off with barbecue. That means I got to get ready. I got to do up some BBQ Braise for my pork chops that are going on the grill. BBQ Braise. Today on the Lupine Epicurean. One. Welcome to yet another episode of the Lupine Epicurean. This is episode 9, kicking it in 2013. And so today we're going to do BBQ Braise. Now, we know that usually here on the Lupine Epicurean, what I do are experimental dishes, things I've never tried before. Trying it for the first time. We try to go quick and easy, inexpensive. Today's going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to make today is something I've used plenty of times. In fact, my fiancée Sherilyn uses this in the Philippines. I gave her the recipe and she's probably used it half a dozen times for parties and so on. A barbecue braise that really gives a lot of flavor to whatever meat you're going to marinate it in. It's not going to be quick. This is we're going to put together the braise tonight. I'm going to throw the pork chops into it, and it's going to marinate overnight. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're going to go out back and get on the grill. Now, you're probably thinking, Wolf, isn't it the middle of winter? Yes, it is the middle of winter. I don't care. I will grill anytime. In fact, I usually grill right up till the end of November before I stop, and usually at least once or twice during the coldest months of the year, I'll go out back and grill, because I love to grill. I love the taste of grilled food. I love the process. I love everything about it. So it's something that I have to do. So today, my BBQ Braise. Now, one other disclaimer before we get started. The recipe that I'm going to give you is very malleable. How you do it is completely up to you. You may want to alter the amount. I'm going to be doing enough to marinate about 3 pork chops. It would probably be enough to do 4 pork chops. So I don't have any set measurements. Most of the time, I tend to cook what I call Justin Wilson style. Remember Justin Wilson, the Louisiana chef that used to measure with his hand. He used to throw things together. That's pretty much the way I do it as well. That's what I'm going to be doing it today. So I'll try to give you some guidelines over on the website. But just try it out with me. Trust me, you'll find that this is a pretty easy recipe that'll give a lot of flavor to whatever meat you want to soak it in. And you don't have to grill. This is stuff that you can, once you use this, you can bake it, you can fry it. There's a lot of different ways that you can cook it. So the whole idea is to create this sauce that will just get into all that muscle and create a very flavorful experience. So, having spent all that time to explain that, let's just get right to it and let's look at the ingredients we're going to be using to create my BBQ Braise. Alright, so let's talk about the ingredients that we're going to use for my BBQ Braise. First of all, probably the most important part of this particular recipe is brown sugar. I'm going to use a cup of brown sugar. I'm also going to use some Tabasco sauce, and how much you want to use is up to you. I'm going to have about 1/4 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce. about 3 tablespoons of chipotle powder, 1 cup of white distilled vinegar. We've got a few tablespoons of mesquite. I probably have about 2 or 3 tablespoons in there. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and then I'm going to use some ground black pepper. And this is going to be the foundation, pretty much, for the BBQ Braise. This is more of a southern type of barbecue sauce. It's got the brown sugar in it, but it's not going to be enough to make it as thick as what is considered northern barbecue sauce. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we are. It's really just a mix job is what it's all about. I'm going to get my 1 cup of vinegar here because that's my my base right there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this brown sugar in there. Let that start disintegrating. And while that's doing that, I'm going to add my Worcestershire sauce. Like I said, I've got about a 1/4 cup of that. I'm going to go ahead and get that mixed up because I want that brown sugar to start disintegrating in there. Should do that fairly fast. Now, while it's doing that, I'm going to get in my olive oil, a little bit of a thickener for this, and also going to give it more capacity to stick to the meat once I put it on the grill tomorrow. Alright, so there's our foundation, and now for what's going to make it top notch, and that's going to be this, my favorite spice, chipotle. I've got about close to 3 tablespoons chipotle that's going in there. I've got, I guess I have more, about 2 tablespoons of mesquite seasoning, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix that up as well. I'm just using a basic whisk here to get it the way I want it. It's already starting to get thicken up a little bit. Now again, it's not going to be a real sugary thick that you might expect from a northern barbecue sauce. This is, if we added some mustard to this, we could make it more like a Georgia style barbecue. But we're going to call this a wolf style barbecue sauce. Alright, so I'm going to put a few drops of Tabasco because I like it pretty spicy. I guess that was probably about a 1/2 tablespoon that I just put in there. Stir it some more. It's looking good. It's got a good smell coming off of it. And then, of course, we've got to have pepper. Fresh ground pepper, milled pepper. Milled yourself is the best because those flavors get released as it gets ground, as it's being milled through the blades. It's fresh that way. Just a beautiful thing. So, probably about 2 teaspoons of pepper is what I put in there. Alright, so I'm going to get it mixed up. And, yeah, I can just, that's a good thickness right there. Ah, that wonderful flavor already coming up. Alright, so there we go. We're going to hold on to that whisk because we'll need to whisk it a little bit more here in just a second. But as you can see, pretty simple, pretty easy to just whip that stuff together. And of course, this is something you can experiment. Start with that base of vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, and oil, and then try other sauces with different types of spices, other types of hot sauces that you can put in there, it'll be a little more of a thin, and definitely brown sugar. Make sure you get some brown sugar in there. Or if you want to try some other kind of thing other than brown sugar. That's where the experimentation comes in with this. But as you can see, we've got a nice big, about 2 cups of sauce here of braise, barbecue braise. And now we just got to get it on the pork chops. As always, we've talked about this before, make sure that when you're going to be using meat, wash your hands before and after dealing with meat. There's all sorts of stuff out there that can get us. You might as well be protected. Wash with some, microbial, antibacteria, soft soap or something like that. Just get your hands clean. I've got here 4 nice pork chops, loins here, and actually before I put them in there, I'm going to stir my braise one more time. And I'm going to pour a little bit in the bottom here, just enough to cover the bottom. And then I'll go ahead and get these pork chops. As you can see, I've got a dish here that I'm going to be able to cover and put into the refrigerator. It's big enough for all 4 of these chops. And one of the things I always like to do to make sure that the braise gets into those pork chops on the inside and that it's going to cook well that way is I just use a very small fork and I poke some holes in my pork chops, which is what I'm doing now. Just going up and down. Don't have to do a lot, just, you know, maybe 4 or 5 pokes. And I'm going to flip those over, do the other side as well. Last thing you want to do is make it so that your meat falls apart when you put it on the grill. But let's get a couple in there. Alright. And there we go. Now, I'm going to go back to my braise, and I am going to put enough in here to cover the chops. Now, that's going to cover the chops, and that's going to leave me with about 1/4 left over, which is what I want, because tomorrow, after this is all marinated, this right here, this is going in the refrigerator as well. And then tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more brown sugar to what's left to this, probably about 1/2 cup of brown sugar to this, and then I'm going to pour that over it, a little bit over it before I put it on the grill, and then I'm going to use that as a sauce for when I actually go to eat it. Put some more on there, and it'll be a little thicker. So, everything's in there. Now, between the last scene and this scene, I did decide I wanted to do one other thing. I wanted one other flavor in there tomorrow. I make something called veggie gruel. It's basically just chopped up green pepper, chopped up onion. Once a week, at the beginning of the week, I take a whole onion and a whole green pepper, I chop them up together to make my veggie gruel. And then through the week, I use this if I want to saute in the wok, or I want to throw some of this in a fresh garden salad. And I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and put a few spoonfuls in with my pork chops, so I also get a little bit of an onion, peppery, green peppery flavor in there as well. Since that's going to be overnight, that's going to give it some good flavor. It's going to be stuck in there. So, put about 4 or 5 spoonfuls there. And go ahead and get this covered up, and then that's going to go in the refrigerator, and that's going to marinate in that braise overnight. And then, next thing you'll see will be tomorrow. We'll get the grill started, get these on the grill, and we should have some fantastic pork chops. Oh yeah, it's meat time. Pork. Look at that BBQ Braise. That's some good stuff right there. We're going to get that on the grill. That's right, it's raining. It's the middle of February, and we are grilling out on the front porch with a canopy, because we can. Hear that sizzle? One of the greatest sounds in the modern world. Alright. So now we're started. And I got my good friend with me, Chef Parker Black, an honest to God chef, unlike me, who's actually studied this stuff. So, Chef Black here has told me a little secret about how to tell when meat is going to be done on the grill. It's all about creating a little... Show me how to do that again. Say hi to all the folks in Lupine Epicurean. There you go.
You just take your hand, and then you've got rare, medium rare, well, all that kind of stuff. You start like this. You take your thumb and then your finger. If you take it like this, it's kind of tight, but if you take it to your pinky finger, it's even tighter and harder. So you've got medium rare, medium well, and then well. So the doneness of the meat, the harder, the more firm the meat is, the more done the meat is. So medium rare, medium well, well done.
I need a chart. I got no memory.
Nah, I don't have a chart.
So I'm going to go for, this is mostly of what we're doing today is pork, so we're going to go for medium. Medium rare is not necessarily a good thing. As much as pink is great in beef, pink not so great in pork. So you want to make sure you get the pork thoroughly cooked. And we're going for medium, so that's going to be the middle one, right? Right there.
Yeah, it's about right in there, yeah.
Sweet. All right, so we're good to go.
Cool.
And just a quick shot here of all that wonderful pork there on the grill, getting nice and done. Got a fairly good fire. It's still a cold day, cold rainy day, but we've got some pork on there, and it's grilling up quite nice. So here we are. I've got my pork chops off the grill, ready to give these babies a try. They're so nice and golden. I'm hoping they'll be really tender. So, as you can see, we're getting ready to have a big battle here on our campaign. For those of you who have been reading the food site, read my reviews, you know, when I do my reviews, I always go out with my buddy Ken. Well, look who's here.
Hey there.
Yeah, it's Ken Dotson, my buddy that goes out to eat with me all the time, and the illustrious game master of our game. He's not eating because he brought about 4 pounds, a small baby's worth, of ribs that are still on the grill. So, but anyway, let's get to it. Let's see how this is going to be. Of course, I already know, but we got to have the reaction shot, right? Oh, nice and tender, no pink on the inside. Got a little bit of potato salad to go with it.
Smells good.
Oh, it is good. It's nice and it's got a sweet, smoky taste because that brown sugar I put in there. Oh yeah, that is the stuff of. Whoo! There's a spice just kicked in. The Tabasco, the chipotle, just hit my tongue. Oh wow. And this is why I love grilling out. There's nothing better than a good slab of meat on the grill. That's all there is to it. So, there you have it. Some barbecue braise for whatever meat you want to put the barbecue braise on. Nice grilled afternoon Sunday, little campaign. We're going to lose this battle, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there.
The fates do not know yet.
Yeah, the fates don't know. Well, the fates do know that try my barbecue braise and you will love it. So, thanks for joining me again this time around on the Lupine Epicurean, where we did my famous wolf-style barbecue braise. I want to thank Chef Parker Black for being here today and teaching us all about the meat.
Meat doneness.
Meat doneness. We'll call that the meat doneness. Maybe we'll do a map, an illustration, put on the website or something. So I'm sure we can find something like that. Anyway, I just like doing that. I don't know why. So anyway, sometime in the future you'll see Parker with me again. We're hoping to do an episode here in the near future where we're going to make some
Stuffed pork chop.
Stuffed pork chop. Probably some spinach.
Spinach, I believe, in gorgonzola. Probably like a nice blue cheese.
Yeah, so that should be off the hook once we get to it. So, as usual, if you want to see the recipe for what we did today or any of the other episodes, just come on over here to lupicurean.blogspot.com. You can also see restaurant reviews and other articles about food. And as usual, if you want to learn how to do these recipes, how to actually fix them, then come on back here to the Wicked Wolf Studios channel on YouTube. Should be rolling, boom, right there. And then that's it. Did we have fun?
I always have fun.
I had fun. All right, thanks a lot. In the meantime, we'll see you in the kitchen. Yay, go Lupine Epicurean, yay. Cut.
Never give up. Never surrender.